What's up, y'all? I know a lot of you know me from Avabel Online, but I decided to pick back up on my channel with some different gaming content, news, and hopefully some walkthroughs and tips in the future. So just getting started, as the avid Nintendo fan that I am, my first homecoming video is gonna be about this game, Neo. The World Ends With You. Now, this game was published by Square Enix, who's done a lot of games like the Mana series, like Trials of Mana, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Tomb Raider, and a lot more. So I'm definitely interested in what the game has to offer and kind of how it plays and what it's like. Now, the full game was released July 27th this year, but I'm just going to be highlighting some things from the demo because I'm not the type to spend a lot of money on a game I don't know much about. And I haven't heard of this series before. So I will say I really like how Nintendo has been consistent with releasing demos that you can kind of play through and transfer the save progress to a game you decide to purchase later on, which is cool. Like that's what you want from a demo. So kind of like the first thing I'm gonna highlight about this game is the exploring. It's pretty standard. You have a city full of zones, and you're kind of free to explore each zone when you individually load a zone by crossing a border. So kind of like my first impressions, um, the zones are pretty small. I'm just going to be honest. So they're pretty small. If you're an adventure type gamer like I am that kind of loves large open worlds with secret caves, towers, the labyrinths, the whole nine yards, you probably won't find like much interest exploring these zones because it's very compact. There's not a lot to do, not a lot of area for that adventure type exploratory feel. When you do cross, you know, people with that kind of like that sound bar icon, that yellow icon over their head, you can kind of overhear their conversation. So it's pretty interactive in that sense. But if you ever played like the Mega Man Battle Network series for Game Boy Advance, the zones and the towns, they kind of just they feel similar to that to me. I mean, obviously this is more of a 3D um, look. Like it looks better because gaming has advanced in the future and stuff like that. But as far as like how linear it is, how compact it is, like there's not much true exploring or open worldness. I would say it's comparable to that Mega Man Battle Network series for Game Boy Advance. But nonetheless, I will say that I still enjoy how it looks. It gives me kind of like that Tokyo high school anime kind of vibe where things are always moving, they're lively, it's pretty fast paced. You have some people who are kind of faceless, but I guess it's just kind of like what you would expect, I guess, from like filler characters that aren't really a part of the story, like so save render where you can save render. I'm all for it. But yeah, like I said, it's very linear, not too much exploring. One cool thing you can do with your psychic abilities is like read people's minds to try and it can provide some hints, but a lot of it is just like filler and funny stuff like the dialogues. So moving on to the dialogues, the story. The story is pretty interesting. Like this game, I will say, like the one of the first things that I noticed is that there's a lot of dialogue, and it's very saturated. You will definitely get caught up in like text and phone dialogue screens, person to person dialogues, group dialogues. The story begins very slow, in my opinion. And it's normal with a lot of talking where like only maybe 20% of it actually alludes to the main story. So while playing the game, like it honestly feels like half the time I'm playing a video game, and the other half of the time I'm kind of reading or hearing kind of like an audible manga, which I'm actually okay with. Like I don't mind because as an adventure type, kind of gamer, I feel like a good story, you know, it goes with a good adventure. So while it's not really something that I mind too much, it is something that is very noticeable, and I feel like important to point out in this video, because if you're not a gamer that likes a lot of dialogue, you like more action, I would suggest, like highly suggest, like if you're interested in this game, that you play through the demo first to try and get a feel of what you can tolerate, because this game definitely is saturated with a lot of dialogue screens, features where you kind of get, you know, caught up. And as I said, like I feel like at least for the demo, like it started off slow and only really about like 20% of it alludes to the main story. The rest of it is either just like fluff or kind of like telling you, you know, tips and tricks of like what's gonna go down in battle or something like that. So that's kind of like something to keep in mind, and definitely something that I would promote the demo over buying the full copy of this game. So moving on to the fun stuff, let's talk about the battles and the fights in the game. So you start these encounters with these red orbs called noise in the zones. You find them using your psychic abilities, and then in true Square Enix fashion, I would say the battles are pretty comparable to what you would expect to a Mana series game or a Dragon Quest game as well. So once you're in this battle arena, after you track down the noise, it drops you in, like I said, an arena, kind of like Dragon Quest or like Trials of Mana, where you're free to move around and stuff like that and battle these creatures. But there's not really much you can do. Like you can dodge and just attack. You can't jump or anything like that. You can only use like one attack per character from what I've seen. The battles are more time-based, in my opinion, than skill-based. So as far as skill, like it's really just your ability to quickly gauge and switch between characters. Each character has something called a pin that grants them a skill, and you simply just mash the button assigned to that character in the pin to get a combo off with their psychic skills. So once you complete a combo with one of your characters on a creature, they might have like this drop the beat icon that spawns over them, and basically what you want to do is you want to follow up with an attack from a different character, and that'll fill your groove gauge, which is at the top. And once that reaches 100%, from what I've seen, once you launch your groove gauge at 100%, it really just increases my attack by a multiple of 3, which is just what I experienced from the demo. So I mean, there may be like more cool things like team attacks and things like that, that's a part of the full game, but as far as the demo, that's all I've seen that feature do. You do get scored after each battle, and like I said, I feel like the score is like really heavily based on just like the timing of the battle, because the battles, they're really not drawn out. Like it's not something that's gonna take too long. It's really just kind of like a quick, like less than a minute more times than not fight. So you're really not going to get a lot out of these fights. You're really just kind of focused on taking these enemies down as fast as you can, and kind of staying on beat, staying, you know, caught up with your characters and their abilities, and making sure that you can keep up with the fast-paced battle system of this game. So nothing too complicated, not really skill based, but very time sensitive. So that's all I have for the battles. The last thing I'm going to talk about are the extras. So basically, like, the extras are just like the extra features in the game that I kind of caught on to. One of them being this graffiti feature, where it's kind of like a collectible. Like, as you complete different achievements throughout the game, you get these graffiti stickers, and you can place them anywhere on this graffiti screen. It gives you tracked progress. I have about 2% complete just by getting that one sticker, beginner's luck, which is pretty cool. I appreciate art, so That's one of the cool features that the game has to offer. You do have a collection of these books, which are just simply as you progress through the game, those like tips and tricks, those screens that pop up that tell you like, oh, how to battle, how to leave battle, like, you know what I'm saying, like how to do this. Like you can replay those, which is pretty standard for games nowadays. You got music where you can change the game's music. You got your pins, which looks like you can get a lot, which I like because as your party grows, like I said, it's only one skill per character, so you want a wide variety. So they look pretty good there with the open slots that I got. It was a lot of those. Threads, which are clothes, so it seems like you can change the clothes of your character, and then food, which looks like you can create recipes maybe. Um, then you got your map of the city and the zones. And that's pretty much all I saw for extra features, at least with the demo. So all in all, like overall for this game, I probably wouldn't buy it myself if I'm being 100% honest. At least not for like the $60 that it's worth now. Um, just because I feel like I said, like I keep saying, I'm more of like an adventure type gamer. I like open worlds where I can explore, find like secrets, like you know what I'm saying, like Easter eggs, things like that. And to me, just based off of the demo, I hate to judge a game just based off the demo. This doesn't seem like it really serves that purpose. This game, like if I wanted to like pass time, like you know what I'm saying, like or if I was like really invested in the story, I feel like I would purchase this game. Um, but I can appreciate it for what it is. And I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's like, you know, your personality, like what you like. It's really dependent on the gamer, right? And for me, like I said, for my reasons, I personally wouldn't purchase it, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't yourself if you really like it, you know. So I did not you know, hate playing the demo by any means. It was a good thing to pass time. I probably wouldn't be doing a video on it if I didn't enjoy it to some capacity. So there's that. But I think they did a really good job, and I'm excited to see what they release in the future. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and take care. Thank you.